안녕하세요. 저는 조수입니다. 감사합니다. IU Secret Garden. This is one that I've been wanting to check out for a little while because, let me see, I heard, who was it? I think it was Winter from aespa, who sang, I don't know if she sang the whole song or if it was just a bit of it, like an excerpt of the song. But it was quite interesting, and her performance was very good. And IU is just another one of these like artists that I've heard about but really haven't gotten into yet, you know. So I wanted to really listen to this song and the original version of it, you know, from the original artist, just to get an idea of what it sounds like. So let's check out Secret Garden.
바람을 타고 날아오르는 새들은 걱정 없이 아름다운 태양 속으로 음표가 되어 나네. 향기 나는 연필로 쓴 일기처럼 숨겨두었던 마음 기댈 수 있는 어깨가 있어. 비가 와도 젖지 않아. 어제의 일들은 잊어. 누구나 조금씩은 틀려. 완벽한 사람은 없어. 실수투성이고 외로운 나를 봐. 난 다시 태어난 것만 같아. 그대를 만나고부터 그대 나의 초라한 마음을 받아준 순간부터 라라라릴라. 하루하루 조금씩 나아질 거야. 그대가 지켜보니 힘을 내야지. 행복해져야지. 뒤뜰에 핀 꽃들처럼 점심을 함께 먹어야지. 새로 연 그 가게에서 새 샴푸를 사러 가야지. 아침 하늘빛의 민트 향이면 어떨까. 난 다시 꿈을 꾸게 되었어. 그대를 만나고부터 그대 나의 초라한 마음을 받아준 순간부터 라라라릴라. 월요일도 화요일도 봄에도 겨울에도 해가 질 무렵에도 비둘기를 하는 아이같이 행복해져 나를 위해서. 난 다시 태어난 것만 같아. 그대를 만나고부터 그대 나의 초라한 마음을 받아준 순간부터 라라라리. 난 다시 꿈을 꾸게 되었어. 그대를 만나고부터 그대 나의 초라한 마음을 받아준 순간부터 라라라릴라.
A very sweet song. kind of reminds me of the Beatles a little bit, the chord progression, especially this sort of fingerstyle work that's on the guitar part. Very nice little ascending type of phrase, right? That dun 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 dun, like it's walking its way up, and then it also sort of steps back down also to finish out that whole phrasing. Very like folky, like a lot of little folkish sounds, even in the like really in the guitar, so in the percussion too, especially the way that it begins with that big bass drum sound, and then when the strings parts come in also, this is, yeah, there's a lot of sort of folky type sounds infused into this. The vocal is very light and airy. It's very sweet. Like there's a lot of emotion in it. It's rather demure though. Like it's almost like it delivers a lot more feeling than something that might have a little bit more like power behind it, right? It's very, very nice vocals, very beautiful vocals, a lot of great use of the vibrato, a lot of excellent control, especially on a few of those lines, but it without getting like too big swelling sort of chest voice. It's a very delicate kind of touch, right? But it still actually delivers quite a lot of emotion. It's very sentimental, it just in its sound alone. I did, because obviously this is just the audio track. I couldn't find the music video from the official channel, the official page, so this is what was posted, so I went with this. But I did look over the lyrics before, and I, without hearing the sound of it, I just read through the different lines, and it reads very much like a poem. Just looking at the lyrics, just without any melody associated or anything like that, it is a very, very poetic piece. The way that it's written, with probably most direct translation that you can find. I mean, but it does come across very much like a poem. But yeah, it reminds me, of songs like Blackbird from the Beatles, something like that. Something that features that guitar sound, especially, right? That sort of finger style with an ascending line, just the phrasing, or the way that's shaped, when it has that sort of folkish quality. But there's a certain section that I guess it would be the chorus section, starts to sound a little bit more pop than folk, whereas the verse section just has a little bit more of a folk quality than it does to the pop quality. I actually really like the way that it sort of develops over the song. Like, by the in the beginning, it's very simple. You got the guitar sound, you got the drum, and then you got the vocal, and then you start to get these little elements added in. First the strings, and then there's a bass sound that comes in too, towards the later half, and then also the additional vocals that are going on, all these vocal licks that are going on, that I'm assuming would be also done by her. They're just on separate tracks, and so when all of those different elements start to get added into the mix, it sort of blooms or sort of blossoms. There were some really good little examples in there of some chromaticism. Really added a lot of color to the tone, but it's subtle. It's not like a really strong approach, but it's very measured and it's very subtle. Let's see. So we're in 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
바람을 타고 날아오르는 새들은 걱정 없이.
Yeah, so you see that bass drum. Yeah, this is like a stomp or something. You know what I mean? This is a very focused style of song. That bass drum is just 4 on the floor, like you're getting a bass accent on every beat, right? And it has a very, very folk style quality to it. It's just a stomp, like, and the vocal work is so. She has a very sweet voice, and she keeps it sort of very narrow, and very sort of thin, right? It's all arranged very well too. It just everything fits together so well, and it creates a nice sound. And the guitar part is just this. The drum is very driving. It's very keeps everything moving forward, but the way that the guitar is playing these chords is sort of broadens it, right, as it's going through that stepping up through the progression. It's like filling out more and more and more. It's very cool, man. It's very cool. Bringing it back down. Oh, very nice staccato strings that are going on now. Yeah, now it's a lot of string work. It was a very cool transition, very smooth, right? I guess it feels like pre-chorusy, but now we have much less going on in the percussion, and the strings, the way they're being used here in that staccato, very almost muted kind of sound. So that's taking over a lot of the percussive work. It was a very smooth transition, though. 조금씩은 틀려 완벽한 사람은 없어 실수투성이고 외로. Then the vocals, those little vocal licks that come in, and the strings, that staccato use of the strings feels like rain. It feels like raindrops, like not like heavy rain, but when you can almost keep track of every drop that's like falling. It feels like rain. So right after, once the drum, the percussion did a little fill, and then that sort of brought back in everything into the mix, and we got that change up, because in the verse section, the way that the bass drum was just doing 4 on the floor, and you get that beat, that accent on every single beat. Once the mix comes back in, there's almost like a triplet grouping that's going on at the beginning of each measure with the bass drum, and then after that, it goes into this more poppy type of feel, because we're getting a sort of spaced out accent that's like every other beat, where you're hearing the percussion accent. Then so it kind of goes through this sequence of styles. You know what I mean? Something folkish in the beginning, and then everything gets stripped down and it gets very minimalist, but still keeps a lot of color in it, and then brings it into almost a classical feel because of the emphasis on 3 in those little triplet groupings in the drum part, and then back into 4, but this time with a very contemporary pop kind of a feel to it, and then we'll go back into that folkish feel again whenever it goes into that stomp styling for the verse sections. It's very artistic, like extremely well done. Oh, right there. That, did you hear that? It feels like they dropped the 3rd, right? This is, or it could have been the 5th, but that like it's so cool, man. This is really cool. It's just so subtle, but this is one of the coolest parts in the song. What's going on with the tone color? Oh, the strings dip, and the vocal sitting super low, right? But it supplements it too. It sort of reinforces that little slide, that little dip that happens in the sound there. It's a very, very cool part of this song. 하루하루 조금씩 나아질 거야. 그대가 지켜보니 힘을 내야지, 행복해져야지. 뒤뜰에 핀 꽃들처럼 점심을 함께 먹어야지. 새로 연 그 가게에서 새 샴푸를 사러 가야지. 아침 하늘빛에 민트 향이면 어떨까. 난 다시 꿈을 꾸게 되었어. 그대를 만나고부터 그대 나의 초라한 마음을 받아준 순간부터 라라라릴라. Very, very cool. Like everything. So it pretty much left that folk sound behind, actually, and leaned more into that contemporary pop type of a feel. But everything that was going on, because the mix got so much busier, right? Those other vocal lines that are going on, I hear them mostly panned right throughout most of the song. Whenever they start to come in, that is. And then the use of the strings completely changes up there. From the staccato notes, it's actually still kind of broken up. But they're playing these little concise sort of rhythms going on over the chord progression. It has sort of stepped in for the that sort of fingerstyle guitar playing that was going on at the beginning, right, in the first verse, because we don't really have that so much here, but the strings have sort of come in to use a different sort of rhythmic device and take over that rhythm part in the song. And all of these transitions are super smooth, man. Like they're so subtle. They're definite, like when they happen, right? But they're so subtle. All of this, like the way that this is written, really, it feels like almost like a dream or a memory. Like it's not describing something that's like so concrete. Even the sort of vocal right there at the end of this section, right? The way that they were almost a bit ghost-like, a little bit sort of like haunting a little bit, but not dark. It's very abstract, very playing on some sort of idea like a dream or a memory or something. It's very cool stuff, man. The way this is written is very, very cool.
월요일도 화요일도 봄에도 겨울에도 해가 질 무렵에도 비둘기를 하는 아이같이 행복해져 나를 위해서.
See, right up until that swell, right, and that percussive sort of little rise that was going on there, there was like all these little whispers, it's little vocal parts there, but it's like not even anything that's really being said. It's just sort of mouth noise, kind of. It feels like a dream. It feels like something, that you sort of, when you wake up and you try to remember like what was going on in a dream or something. This is a very unique song, actually, that with this blend of folk sounds, classicism, contemporary pop, and this play on a very sort of abstract type of a concept. This is a very, very unique song.
다시 태어난 것만 같아 그대를 만나고부터 그대 나의 초라한 마음을 받아준 순간부터 랄라라리 난 다시 꿈을 꾸게 되었어 그대를 만나고부터 그대 나의 초라한 마음을 받아준 순간부터 랄라라릴라.
Such a delicate ending. Very, very cool, man. It brought back that folk sort of style, that folk sound again with that same chord progression on the guitar, and it was also using that staccato string sound that was reminiscent of like raindrops. Everything about this song is like a poem. The not just the lyrics, but even the musical parts itself, the different voicings in the instruments, and the sort of swimmy way that it had those parts where, even towards the end when the additional vocal lines are in the mix and they're more pronounced, right? There's definitely more breath behind some of those parts, and they're doubling some of the lines and singing them in even higher pitches and stuff, but it still feels so swimmy and so dreamlike. You're getting sort of submerged in the sound, and you can hear all these different parts, but there were parts where the string sound and the vocals, were so indiscriminate that I couldn't tell where the backing vocal track and the string track, where one ended and the other began, because they were so close. It's a very good use of vocals as instruments, right? Like the way that the vocals are used in the mix and those parts is thinking of them as if they were instruments, because they are. It's your voice is your instrument, right? Especially for a vocalist, that's what they do. But it's a unique song. This is a very unique song, and really nice to be able to hear all of it, all like the whole mix all together, and the way this was written, and then also her vocal performance, which is she's very, very good. She has a wonderful voice and a wonderful sort of tone quality, and like I said, the airiness, the the subtlety of it, and it conveys a lot more feeling without having to use a great deal of power, right? Without a great deal of force. It's very, very clever. It's a very clever song. And like I said, quite poetic. The poem-like quality of the song goes beyond just the lyric part. It's very much in the structure of this song as well. Some like a dream, like a memory. It's extremely artistic. Yeah, this is quite a beautiful song. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. This is very, very sweet. This is very nice. This is, even thinking about like the title of the song is A Secret Garden, and this dreamlike, very poetic quality of it. This song is like a place that you can go to when you kind of need a break from everything. You can go here and you can feel a little bit safe, and you can feel, like you can take a break. You can calm down, and you can breathe, and you can just sort of reflect on things. And it's very, very cool, man. This is very, very brilliant and artistic songwriting, and what a great mix. Really, the arrangement of this is fantastic. This is a very, very beautiful and artistic song, and what an introduction to the artist as well, to IU, as okay, she can do something like this. This is extremely unique. Against the backdrop of the more prevalent sort of sounds and styles and stuff, this leaned into areas that you don't actually hear too often, or at least that I haven't heard too often, and it sort of blends everything in a very, very balanced and structured way. Like, it's so measured, but the concept is still so abstract. So it's very, very cool. I'm gonna enjoy this for the rest of time. Now, this is a very sweet and unique type of song. I really love this.